Okay, so I wanted to rant about something in Marvel Rivals because, like, I love this game, but there are some things in it that kind of drive me absolutely insane. Um, and today I wanted to rant about the support class. Now, I'm not gonna rant about the support heroes themselves. I think, um, contrary to what some people might believe, I think the support class is actually pretty strong. I think that it's pretty overpowered. There's a lot of really strong heroes in the class. And I think they have more impact on the game than I think a lot of support players might realize. Obviously, Luna and Loki were meta for like 3 seasons now, and even then, like, Luna's still really good, Dagger's really good, and Viz just got a buff. Hell, even Jeff got a buff, and he might even be decent in this season now. I don't know, because I haven't played Ranked yet this season. But I think the one thing I wanted to rant about with the supports is that while there's a lot of good ones, a lot of them feel very samey. Now, I am a Mantis player. I play Mantis. She was the hero that when I first started playing back in Season 0, that she clicked with me. I loved her mix of healing and damage. She reminded me a lot of Zenyatta from Overwatch. And so her kit kind of just like instantly clicked with me. And to this day, she's my most played character. But the problem I have is that a lot of the time, I can't go into a game without being told that, I'm throwing, Mantis is a throw pick, we need to go an actual healer, go Luna, go Loki, go Cloak, like, get off of Mantis. And I think that is part of what, like, breeds my rant here, is that I think, like, off support as a whole is hard to exist in Rivals. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that, there's a lot of damage in Rivals. So many DPS do so much damage. The tanks do so much damage. There's a lot of ults everywhere that are completely team wiping. And I think that it creates a situation where if you were a support with less healing, then it makes it so it's hard for you to be able to play the game. If you're not a Luna or a Cloak or an Invis or even a Rocket, or Loki, then it's people will say that you're throwing because your support has less healing than other supports, and that's why I think the best. I think honestly, my big problem with support is that a lot of the supports feel very samey. A lot of the supports feel like I'm playing the same character. Like, I almost feel no different when I'm playing Luna versus when I play Dagger versus when I play Rocket. I feel like when I play those characters, I'm kind of doing the same thing on all of them. It's, sitting in the back. I'm doing a lot of healing. I do damage when I need to. I can get the final hits. I can take people out. But I'm mostly just doing a lot of healing because there's so much sustained damage that there needs to be a lot of healing. And also the reason that there's not support gameplay in the background of this video is that I kind of find support playing boring. So that's why you're seeing the Iron Fist gameplay. But support as a whole, a lot of the characters feel very samey, and that's why I think my favorite supports to play are supports like Mantis, or like Atom, or Ultron, the ones that are different from the normal mold of support. But I can't play those when I'm in ranked, and even in quick play sometimes. I'll lock like Ultron or Mantis in quick play, and I'll have people telling me to get off of Mantis and go on Luna in quick play, and it's like, it's not worth that in quick play. But in ranked, I can kind of understand it a little more. But even then, I feel like we should at least give those players that play those heroes a chance, as opposed to just immediately calling them throw picks. And that's not just even for supports, because I see it all the time with characters like Widow, or even like Spider-Man. But I think, like I said, the reason that my favorite supports are like Mantis, Atom, and Ultron, is because they're different, and because their primary goal is not to just sit there and heal bot. They can heal, but it's not like their like super primary focus. Their primary focus is to be mixing in healing and damage. Mantis needs to do damage to get her healing resources back, and then Atom and Ultron, like Atom has limited healing, and doing damage directly gets him his healing cooldown reduced if he hit headshots. And also, he just does a lot of damage anyway. He's like almost like Hela. And Ultron 2, like, he can two-shot 250 HP heroes up close if you hit every bit of his left click. And so I think it creates a more interesting gameplay loop because I'm not just sitting in the back and heal botting. I think that because I'm doing something else aside from just heal botting, it makes them feel less mind-numbing. I would play, if I could, I would play 100 games of Mantis, and I would never play one game as Cloak if I didn't have to anymore. Or, I mean, I like playing Luna, but I would still prefer to play Mantis over Luna. So I think NetEase, I don't want to say that they should buff the healing of the off supports, because I think that kind of goes against the whole philosophy of being an off support, and if you buff their healing to be on par with the main supports, then it kind of just makes them the best supports in the game. Like, if you gave Mantis Luna's healing, and then she kept her own damage, like, she would be an amazing support. Like, best in the game, probably. I mean, maybe not because of the ult, but, like, she would be a contender. And I think that, I think the only way that NetEase could fix that problem would just be to, like, change so many things across the board, where it would be they would have to adjust damage numbers all over the place to where off supports can exist, and, like, their healing would be considered enough to mitigate a bunch of the damage. And, I mean, I don't think that's feasible, obviously. I don't think it's possible for NetEase to, like, do away with so much of the game's foundation. Like, the reason, like, in Overwatch that, like, characters like Zenyatta or Lucio work is because, like, there isn't as much damage in Overwatch, and so it allows teams to work around the low healing of the off supports. And I'm not saying that you can't make off supports work in double support. I play Mantis in double support a lot. I play Ultron in double support. Obviously, I'm only Plat, Diamond level, but I think that you can definitely make those work, but it kind of relies on your team being willing to play around cover and, like, not just face tank all the damage that comes their way. And I think a lot of teams, like, struggle with that, where they're like, they'll just sit there and they'll face tank, like, and they won't play behind cover, and then they die, and then they yell at their healers, like, why aren't you healing me? And it's because, like, as, like, even main support sometimes can't do it, but definitely as an off support, it is impossible to heal that much damage away. And so I think off supports are better the better the players are, but also I think, like, I think there's a fundamental design flaw with a lot of the supports in Rivals, and I think that it creates issues with game feel, and it makes things feel stale after a while. That's kind of the gist of my rant here. All I'm saying, buff Mantis, please, and I just hope that maybe NetEase can, like, fundamentally change the supports in some way to make them more interesting. Even the main ones. I feel like if you can change them to make them more interesting, then that kind of, like, fixes my issue here. With that, thank you very much for watching. I just wanted to rant a little bit about supports, because, I mean, I'm a support player. I play Luna, I play Mantis, I play Rocket, I play Ultron, and I play Cloak. And sometimes Loki. So I play a lot of supports, and I think I just want to see some changes that makes the role more interesting.